Welcome Motivation Sunday. Welcome Motivation Sunday.
Welcome to another edition. Matter of fact, it's the new year, 2026, the Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. Hey, for those of you that don't know, this show was originally created from the contents of more than 300 motivational quotes I had from my books. And speaking with all my friends on my co-hosts, I got Larnez, I've got Otis, I got Gilda and Christopher. I got Vanessa Vida over there, and Lois and Dr. Blue, Miss Stephanie. These are my co-hosts, and we were just wondering, were these quotes something that just kind of landed on me or you, or was it a conversation that needed to be had? So we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we toss out a quote. One of our wonderful co-hosts brings a quote, and based on our interpretation and perspectives, we talk about this quote. So without further ado, we're going to start the first podcast in the 2026 year with a quote from Vanessa. Now, Otis, if you don't mind, for our listeners, to delivering the quote. And Vanessa, you're up next.
Happy Sunday, everybody. And the quote this morning: love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves.
And that is so true. Vanessa, thank you for bringing such a wonderful quote. How did this quote land on you?
So, grand riches to everyone. Happy New Year. This quote is very, very, very profound. If you cannot hear how profound it is just by its words, then you need to reconnect with your soul, with life. Let's just break it down. Love is patient. Just like when you're a mother, as I am to my three kings, they drive you crazy and you have to be patient. You have to be patient also with your loved ones, your mother, your husband, your cousins. Love is kind. Even when they're not so kind to you, you need to be kind back. Love does not envy. Don't don't compare yourself to anyone else. You are you. Live in your existence. Love does not boast. Don't be a bragger. Come on, people don't like to hear people bragging when they're at the low peak. They don't want to be around that. They want to be elevated. Don't think about yourself when you're talking to someone. Think about them. Think about what they're going through. And no one can walk in your shoes unless they've walked in them themselves. Love does not dishonor. Well, that's a big one. What is dishonor? We got some people in here today that are going to tell you about honor. And I'll let them touch that because I know he and she will do it perfectly. Love is not self seeking. Come on. You don't need to seek it, it's all around. And where does it come from best? God. And then yourself. You need to love yourself in order to love the masses. And that's hard at times. But you do need to find and love yourself to do that and to do it right for everyone else. Love has no record of wrongs. Forget the past. Don't worry about the future. Live in the present. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. The truth will set you free. And when you speak your truth, you're giving the power to everyone to speak their truth, because so many of us live in our lies because it's easier. Live in your truth. Love always protects. And trust. Trust Him. Trust your gut. Trust your heart. And love will always preserve, will always be there. Because what do we all want? Love. Thank you. Cheers.
All right. Thank you for starting off the new year with love. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, love is a choice. To be in love and to stay in love is a decision and a commitment. I hope these words that Vanessa has shared with you has opened your eyes, opened your heart. We're going to find out if I were to take this conversation over to the islands and my beautiful sister, Miss Lois Campbell, how would this quote land on you?
Grand Rising, everyone. Happy New Year 2026. It is already a great one. So, Vanessa, thank you. That was awesome. I can relate. I've been living with this quote since birth, I guess. So, I'm just going to take a small portion of that and I'm going to go with the quote unquote, the devil's portion, the envious portion. So, if I guess because of his envy, that's where we are today, why we have to be seeking everything else. So I guess there was love in the air, and the devil saw where or was envious of what he could have gotten or what he thought was there for him instead of God who had it. So he became envious. And with that envy, it brought on so many other um, unkind things. So hence, yes, love is all the good things that we say they are, but there's always the flip side. And no matter what we do, the flip side has to be addressed, and somebody has to take that flip side. So you, me, decide which side are you going to take? And which side are you going to run with? Which side are you going to grow with? Which side is going to build you? Which side is going to break you? And how do you see your surroundings around you? So, like I said, it has been with me for a while. And I can't tell you that I haven't um, gone into every areas of what you just describe in First Corinthians, but I would like to be on the better part, whichever part that is. And sometimes it's your own personal thing. What is your gut feeling? What do you feel? What do you want to give out? What do you want to portray to others around you? So, thank you.
And thank you for your share. Truth is the foundation of love, isn't it? And Vanessa, I want to thank you for bringing us this quote. It's we're delivering only part of this quote. It's a verse from the Bible. Vanessa, will you remind us or to our listeners that may want to look this up, what this original quote came from before I go over to Christopher, real quick?
Yes, it comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
All right. I have always said, if people have never don't remember, I've always said that none of us, people out there, content creators, people that speak, or people that claim to be influencers over people, social media, coaches, mentors, and so forth. I don't think any of us have an original quote. I know earlier in the show I said I have 3 original quotes that if you cross-reference, they say it's mine, but every quote, the originator of the quote is all in the Bible, not the new Bible that someone has just written in the last 4 years. In the original Bible, every motivational quote is always in there. So, Christopher, with that said, how does this quote land on you? And by the way, thank you for your service. I know you're wearing an extra large naval shirt. I'm going to tell you, I'm a brother from another mother. That second shirt will look good on both me and you.
I'll go get it out of the laundry.
All right.
Yeah, my grandson gave me these sweatshirts, and he gave me two so I can wear them every single day. One in the
All
laundry.
right.
Getting to the quote, Gilda's already made me promise not to take her read on the quote, even though I gave her read on the quote. No, I didn't do that. No, it's that quote to me, and again, Vanessa, you're looking in the same place that I am, and more importantly, Lois seems to live it the same way that I do. But way back when I was a very small child, it wasn't given to me as love. It was given to me more as the way you ought to live, the way you should live, and the statements in that chapter basically state how a good person lives, what that good person feels, what that good person does. And although it was fairly lengthy for a 6-year-old at the time, I think my grandmother broke it down best. She said, no, that's right. I can't use that. That's Gilda's quote. My grandmother broke it down best as this describes the one person that you want to be like more than anything else in the whole world. This describes God. And basically, if you can just live your life with as many of those points as possible, then you'll be a better person. And you don't have to think and scratch your head, well, what should I do in this case? Because it's all written down, it's all laid out, and it's easy to follow. I didn't take it.
All right. Well, you know something, there's no better truth than knowing that love without ego builds real connection. And since you are connected to someone for the last 300 years, I'm going to see what the other link in that chain would have to say. Gilda, how does this quote land on you?
Rising, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, just like Chris said, he didn't want to take it from me. The bottom line is God is love. That's the bottom line.
Right. Being consistent in 2026, short and sweet, but powerful. Hey, Otis, I'm going to toss this back over to you. I love that voice of yours. I can't wait till someone discovers you. All right. Hollywood, anyone doing a commercial that needs a voiceover, pay attention, Mr. Otis Spencer. Will you mind delivering that quote and that beautiful God's given gift that you have in that voice? He is the voice of our show.
Definitely, definitely. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves.
All right, PJ,
Uh-oh.
coming up. Uh-oh. How does this quote, love that Vanessa has brought to us, so beautiful, this quote. I'm trying not to make light, but it is the most biggest, most best quote, beautiful. It's you've never heard. No one's ever had a quote better than this. It is just beautiful. It's the biggest and the best. How's this quote land on you?
Oh, it's powerful. It's powerful. Uh, Now, you know, my little brain doesn't really kick in until about 11 in the morning. So I'm in another time zone in a way. So this one, I just didn't even know where to start when I heard this quote for the first time. But the first thing I thought of was I need to read Larnez's book again called Unconditional Love. That is talk about powerful. Uh, it's as far as the pain in our life goes, one of the most powerful things we can learn to do is to love unconditionally. And the secret sauce with that monumental undertaking would be to learn to release judgment. When we judge, we can't love. And then the next thing that I think of is my Viking DNA is speaking to me now. There's a concept about even in loving, it's love that loves through us. We don't make it up. We have to allow it to flow through us. Like in what is the verse? John 5:30. Get out my red letter Bible. I can of my own self do nothing. Is that what it was? So if you learn to think that way, you bring the energy in, and that's what love is. It's just another energy that we allow to flow through us. And my my Zen background comes into play here. What was it? Practice the art of doing without doing. It's I guess in universal law, it would be the law of efforting. We lock up the energy around things when we focus on them too much. So we have to let go. Practice the art of doing without doing, and everything gets done. And the last thing I can think of is what Vanessa says. Love does not come from us. We allow it to flow through us. It comes from the heart of God.
That is so
Did
true.
I make any sense this morning?
Yeah, you made plenty of sense. Yeah,
Lots of I'm tearing up.
I know
Let
I
me
do.
go.
I got the Kleenex here all the time.
I wish I had one close by. It is very profound.
Well, believe it or not, it doesn't matter. No matter how a quote lands on you based on your interpretation and perspectives, the conversation is always original when it comes from your heart. Love does require perseverance. And so, PJ, every
Yes.
single time that you speak, every single time you show up as the most original version of you. You carry no damage, you crucify no one, and you love without being loved back, but you give love anyway. So, PJ, all right,
Thank
we love you. All right.
thank you.
Everyone on here loves you.
Oh,
So, we're gonna find out how Miss Stephanie, Dr. Blue, how's this quote land on you? Her heart's up there flowing. Look at that.
Okay, so I actually thought I knew what I was going to say about this quote until I listened to others, right?
I felt the
And
same way.
sometimes that's great because then you get a fresh perspective,
Hmm.
right? So as I'm listening to everyone, like all of these thoughts are popping in my head. And the one thing that stood out the most was ego, right? Easing God out, right? And when we ease God out of our lives, love cannot show up. But I was talking to a friend yesterday morning, and I sat there and I was sitting there for a while because I'm trying to practice this new type of meditation for myself, right? And so he called just when I was finished. And he says, Miss Blue, no, he actually calls me Lady Blue. Lady Blue. He says, you up already? I says, I've been up for a while. I says, I've just been sitting here in silence, right? And I says, you're my first phone call for the day because I'm practicing not taking calls first thing in the morning and just staying here long enough to connect with God, right? Because I need that connection in the morning. Because when I get that connection in the morning, it just strips away all of those thoughts, all of those burdens, all of those boogies that may have kept me up in the night until I'm in that place where I'm just sitting and it's just me and God and it's love. And during that moment, guess what, guys? I'm patient. I'm kind. I'm all of the things that this verse talks about. And to start your day in that space, it kind of sets the trend for how the remainder of the day is going to be for me. But when I wake up in the morning and I'm checking phones and I'm looking at the news and I gotta get the weather and I'm having a conversation with Alexa, because now Alexa lets you have a conversation with her, and having a conversation with Alexa and doing all these things, it's like I'm like this, and I have not connected to the source first thing in the morning. But when I connect with that source, I tell you, it's a level of peace that is there with you. Someone talked, and I think it was Kevin who talked about complimenting PJ on the version, right? That's when I'm the best version of myself. And in order for me to show up as that verse shows up, not only am I the better version of myself, the best version of myself, but I'm also the original version of myself. Because in order for me to do all of those things, man, someone spoke about the other source, right? The other side. I don't connect to the other side. I don't even acknowledge it, and I don't even speak of it, right? But you know what I'm talking about, right? But my first thought is always to be kind. Like, if you think about it, my first thought is always to be kind, always to be good, always to be patient. That's my first original thought on any situation, any conversation, my relationship with any person. However, when the ego part begins to show back up, the ego will stop me, it'll pause, it'll tell me, don't be kind to that person, because remember what they did to you? Don't be patient. I'm in a rush right now. They didn't have time for me, so I don't have time for them, right? Because that's when that other part kicks in. But as long as I stay in that place, that good place, that place that feels good. See, I am no longer afraid to be my authentic self anymore. Right? And people will say to me all that, why are you nice to them? Or why do you forgive them? Or why? Because that's the place I want to live in. That place feels good. I'm never going to be perfect. Never. But I am intentionally trying to be the best person that I can possibly be. Every
All right, we froze for a
It's
little bit.
embedded in you. That patience gets embedded with you. I'm sorry. Did somebody give me the time sign? I
No,
thought,
keep going, do your thing.
oh, but that's the kind of stuff that's embedded in you, and it feels good. We can all be powers of example or powerful examples, however people choose to look at it. But we have to understand our behavior, because love is an action. I know people say, oh no, love is no, love is an action. Right. And when we see the people who are coming up behind us, our family members, our kids, our grandkids, even people in the neighborhood, when they see us being kind, it some of it is foreign to them. Sometimes it's foreign to walk into an elevator and the elevator is full and you say, good afternoon, gentlemen. Or how's everyone doing? You having a good day? It changes. That little one word, that sentence, it changes people. Because people could be grumpy in the morning and they're running for the school bus or they're running for work, and you say, good morning, everyone have a great day. Guess what? People stop and they say, yeah, you too. You too. And they leave out of the elevator and I watch them. They leave out of the elevator with a smile on their face. And guess what they do that they didn't do yesterday? They hold the door open for someone else. Love is contagious. We want to spread that kind of love to people. And I think that if we were doing it more often and watching the words that we say, and it's no division that's there, no division that's there, man, this world would be a better place for us to be in. So I
Amen.
practice it every day. Thank you so much, guys.
Right, and thank you. And believe it or not, you could not have said it better. All right. If you can change a person's heart, you can change the way that they view not only you, the rest of the world. Thank you for that powerful share. Before we hop over to Larnaz, Otis, I know I'm just picking with you, man. I love hearing your voice. I can have you repeat quotes all day long. I wish I can walk with you and meet someone in the elevator and say, Otis, fire away. Give them that quote one more time.
Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves.
All right. You know something? Just for those of you that don't appreciate love or being loved, first you've got to open it up. I know what it feels like to have a 2 a.m. phone call where you're in your that REM sleep you've been searching for, and all of a sudden on the other end is someone called Larnez Kinsey, and she says, "You were just on my mind.
Ooh.
All right, you're on my heart today. What's up?" That's love. Because a lot of times when you get that phone call that's unexpected, it's that voice, it's that conversation, it's even that breath of fresh air that you've been dying for, that you needed at that moment. We are all in our own space every single second, even on that elevator. You know, you don't even know the gift you have. You know, if Otis pushes floor 2, Vanessa 3, Gilda and Chris 13, which it doesn't exist realistically. 12 is 13. If it's up there. And Lois is there, and PJ is there, and all of a sudden Kevin with a smart LA comment says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to go to the top of the building. We'll be stopping up floor 2, where you can go out there, you can buy a new attitude. We'll hit floor 3. That in the event that you need reinvention, some action in your life, we'll be hitting there. Now, when we get to floor number 13, there's a surprise. So anyone wants to ride up there on the elevator today, I just want to start your day off with saying I love you. Hey, Larness, I love you, baby. How's this quote land on you?
Love you too. Radiant rising. So to me, love is patient, love is kind is not a soft quote for soft moments. It is a mirror because love is not proven by what you say when things are easy. It's revealed by how you move when you're disappointed, misunderstood, or afraid. If what you call love rushes people through grief, tightens when they speak their truth, keeps quiet score, withholds affection, or turns honesty into punishment, that is not love. That's protection, pretending to be intimacy. Love does not envy because it knows there is always enough. Love does not boast because it's already full. Love does not posture for power, it rests in presence. Love does not dishonor others. It does not shame, expose, or correct in public to feel righteous. It does not it does not say, I'm just being honest, when you really mean, I'm armored up. Love is not self-seeking. It's not, it's not an orbit of discomfort or convenience. It asks, how does this land in my body? How does this land in your body? Love is not easily angered because it's learned how to pause. It keeps no record of wrongs because it refuses to turn pain into a weapon. This does not mean accepting harm. It means choosing healing over control. Love rejoices in truth, truth that clears the air, truth that frees the nervous system, truth that brings people back to themselves. And yes, love protects, trusts, hopes, preserves, not blindly, not by abandoning self, but by choosing integrity again and again. So if this lands heavy, which this quote is very heavy. Triggers are teachers. This is not about being perfect. It's about being present, because unconditional love is not passive. It is the bravest choice we make to meet ourselves and each other without armor. And that's a choice that you have to be making every day. It's available to you every day, right? And this choice to choose love is in us. I heard everyone speak about God, right? God is always that light within, right? I'm going to ask everyone to do an exercise right here. I heard this last week, right? I want you to look at the screen with your eyes, right? And then I also want you to picture a red apple on a table. Everybody picture the red apple?
Got it.
Who's looking at the apple? Who's looking at it? God is within you. Love is within you. You have to tap in. It's always with you. But if you are distracted by all the chaos in the world, you're not able to discover the great power of love within you. And that's how this hit me.
Lauren, that was just beautiful. I don't know how to do the emojis in order to get the hearts and
Amen.
letters, whatever, but
I got it for you.
today I would become friendly with the emojis. Lauren, I'm going to say this in 2026. This is my hope for you, my wish for you. You should do a TEDx speech. All right. TEDx, if you have not reached out to Larnez, I know you have your requirements, whatever. Don't find an excuse not to have her do her speech. Find reasons to have her speak. She's fire. Okay. Not only is she physically hot, she is fire emotionally. And, she's one of those people, when she crosses a bridge, it burns, but it's so cool you can cross back over it. All right. She doesn't set anything on fire. She just brings up the temperature in the room. Thank you for that. Thank you. So, we've gotten to that point of this show. Otis, 2025 is not going to be much different than 2026. We got to follow all these wonderful, highly intelligent, lovable people that are our brothers and sisters from other mothers and other fathers. But we love them. We're HR nightmare. You can't say this in your job and keep your job and say you love your coworker. But here, these are my partners in crime, and we ride and die together. So Otis, I'm going to gush over you in 2026 until I get someone to give you a voiceover job, because you deserve it, young man. All right, Otis, give us the quote one more time, and I hope I can keep up. How, based on your interpretation, perspective, how does this quote land on you?
Wait. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. And my version or thoughts with this quote is, love can be all these wonderful things, but love can also be blind. Be careful of who or what you love. You need to choose wisely, because who or what you love might not love you back, which brings hurt and pain. Love of money, love of power can do evil things. Look at where we are today. And yes, love puts your head in a great, great space of heaven. And that's how it landed on me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering 2026. This is January, and this is the launch of our podcast for this year. So I always got to come up and follow all these wonderful people, and 90% of the things that I wanted to say on how this quote first landed on me was presented by someone that presented it much greater than I would. And I want to thank all my co-hosts that have joined me on this show and followed me and stayed with me. Otis, the voice, Gilda and Chris, good friends, Larnaz, PJ, Vanessa, Dr. Blue, and Lois. I just want to thank you and let you know that you're all loved. So this quote for me is a blueprint for how we are called to live in love. As we begin this new year, this quote reminds us that love is just not a feeling. It is a discipline, a choice, and a daily commitment. This passage teaches us the real roots of love in our character. It's not convenience. Love requires patience, humility, forgiveness, and endurance. It challenges you to rise above your ego. And I think, forget which one of Dr. Blue gave the acronym for ego. It goes beyond resentment. It's outside of pride. And to live with grace is even difficult for the most loving person in the room, but we have to find grace. Love is the choice, not just an emotion. Patience is kindness, and it's our strength. Love without ego builds a stronger connection. Forgiveness is your freedom. Love protects and honors others. The truth of love is your foundation, which you stand on every single day. Love requires perseverance, and how we love reflects exactly who you are. So let it be said, we all do know it is hard to love. It is hard just to hold on to love. Love is the standard we carry forward. I say choose patience over frustration, kindness over ego, truth over comfort, forgiveness over resentment. Let love guide you in how you showed up in this world, because love leads with purpose and follows with peace, and love and peace is power. So that's how this quote landed on me based on my interpretation, and plus following all these wonderful people. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place in life, you can help and you can help someone else. He said it's your duty to do so. And before we fade to black, one of the things I want to say as we begin this new year, I just want to thank you for walking with us and staying with us. And if you like what you've heard and you want to be a featured co-host on here, then go to our RMK Productions and network and follow us and subscribe and fill out the link. We'll be more than happy to have you. So I'm going to repeat, I love my grandfather. He poured a lot of wisdom into me. And I'm going to repeat this. And I hope that going forward in 2026, you remember this. All right. When you get to a place, no matter how big or how small you are or how powerful, that you can help someone. My grandfather said it's your duty to do so. Remember these words: reach one, teach one. And with that said, we what?
Fade to black.
And make sure you come back.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting in with us and riding with us on Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. And we're out. Thank you,
Bye.
ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome Motivation Sunday with Kevin and friends.